Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunattu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bihata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. Ramannasti Parayanam Parataram Ramasya Dasosmyaham Rame Chittalaya Sada Bhavatu Me Bho Rama Mamuddhara Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak Pranaschakshushrotramatho Balamindriyani Cha Sarvani Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam Maham Brahma Nirakuryam Ma Brahma Nirakarot Anirakaranamastvanirakaranam me astu Tadatmani Nirateya Upanishatsu Dharmaha Te Mayi Santu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. We had seen the second line of mantra 2.4 in the last session. Pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam hivindate. Second line was Atmana vindate viryam vidyaya vindate amrutam. So here Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji pointed us to two things. First thing was the importance of Atma Vidya. Atmana vindate viryam, he said, Atma Vidya krutam tu viryam. Only when this Atma Vidya becomes firm, then only this viryam is available to me. That was the first point. And second, he said, this result, this viryam which is coming from Atma Vidya, it is permanent result. This strength is not something which will come and go. It is Nitya Phalam. Why is it Nitya? The later part he says, Atma Vidya Krutam tu Viryam Atmana eva vindate. Because Atma is Nitya, it is never born, it never dies. Knowledge of this fact that I am this Atma, that fearlessness which comes will be Nitya Phalam. Both parts we should appreciate. Importance of knowledge and permanence of result. It is not some result which will come and go in time or some kind of fearlessness which is relative. In the same mantra, Swami Vivekananda in several quotes would mention about strength. He would say that every word of Upanishad, every page of Upanishad speaks to me of strength. And later part of that quote is, it is not that there are no weaknesses. Because when we start our sadhana, although we see this is the goal, I see a lot of weaknesses in me. But he would say, can we clean dirt by dirt? Can we clean sin by sin? So he would say, how can we cure weakness by another weakness? So this is a beautiful path where absolute fearlessness is pointed out from Atma standpoint. But in between, there are relative degrees of fearlessness, which comes through dharmic life. More relative if you want to come, it comes by being more proactive and well prepared. Right? Any project for that matter, more prepared we are, fear goes down for that thing. Little bit more subtler is dharma. Coupled with devotion to Bhagavan, it brings lot of fearlessness. Jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahiye. No insistence on anything to be changed. But absolute fearlessness comes with abidance in non-duality. The moment there is duality, some kind of fear will creep in along with that. But what we realize is, just by reading this mantra, our fear doesn't go away. Just by listening to this mantra, fear does not go away. We have to sit down and do some mananam specific to our life. If what Vedanta is saying is true, if I am Chaitanya devoid of all conditioning, then what should be my perspective towards few things? So first thing is, if I am Chaitanya, then what should be my perspective towards the outside world? In and through that, all the pursuits that I'm doing in outside world, with what perspective should I start doing them now? Dhanyashtakam, it is said, one who thinks in this way is blessed. Te dhanyaha bhuvi paramartha nishchita ihaha. One meaning of that is, he has clarity about the truth. And then all their actions are in the light of that knowledge. Or another meaning is, Te dhanyaha bhuvi paramartha nishchita ihaha. They have determined to know the truth, and they are doing all their vyavahara such that it will help them reach their goal. So that verse Puja Guruji pointed out, it can be looked at from Siddha standpoint and Sadhaka standpoint also. So that question I have to ask myself, that I am a seeker of Vedanta and I have Pramana Buddhi in Shastra. Dakshinamurti Sotram, Bhagavan says this world is like a city seen in a mirror, appearing there where it is not. So if I am that locus, if I am that substratum in which Jagat is appearing, how should my transaction be with the world? And in what light should I see all my pursuits? I'm giving study group questions, hints, we can hear each other's reflections. Second is, if I am Chaitanya Swarupa Brahma, how should my sambandhas be in my life? All sambandhas. Before getting this knowledge, I would have one idea, right, of sambandha, whatever it could be. That, this sambandha is my support. This sambandha is going to give me sukham. After knowing that I am that sukha swarupa, how should my sambandha change with the world? With that, few more things should open up about this verse. Atmana vindate viryam, vidyaya vindate amrutam. If mananam leads to that fearlessness, gives some new perspective, that is what we are looking for. Now, Bhagavan Shankaracharya introduces the last mantra, 2.5. Let us chant this. Kashta khalu, sura nara tiryak preta dishu, sura nara tiryak preta dishu, samsara dukkha bahuleshu, praninika yeshu, janma jara marana rogadi, sampraptihi ajnanat. So Bhagavan is setting the stage for the mantra that is going to come. He says, what is the hurry for moksha? Why do I need to rush? And these are the words of a Brahmajnani. Look at what Bhagavan is saying. Kashta khalu. Oh, indeed, it is very, very difficult. What is difficult? He says, taking up a physical form is very difficult. Physical body, not only in human life. He says, in any form, if I have to take a physical form, it means many things are already attached with that physical form. Kashta khalu, he starts with Sura. Sura means, Devatas. He says not only human beings, even Devatas. If you go and ask them, what should we ask? Are you happy? Are you happy, or would you like to do something else? In Bhagavatam, it is said, Devatas come to Shukdevji Maharaj and say, we want to listen to Bhagavad Katha. And as a trade-off, we will give you our Amrutam. You give us Bhagavatam Amrutam. Shukdevji Maharaj says, we don't trade diamonds for glass pieces. You keep what you have. We are very good here. Sometimes it is said, Devatas feel they should have Manushya Janma. If somebody gets Vairagya there, somebody's mind becomes purified, it's very hard to stay amidst Bhoga. Because there is no choice. They say, I want to study Brahma Vidya. He said, no, you can't. Nothing is there over here. Here there is some food item for you, or some other Bhoga for you to eat. He says, that is not what I want. So he says, Devata Sharira is not something very great to aspire for. That's why in so many other places we see Daksha Prajapati's mind. In spite of reaching that position, so much of agitation is there, so much of discontentment is there, jealousy is there. Towards whom? Towards Lord Shiva only. We have jealousy towards smaller people, Devatas have towards Bhagavans. And several other places, when Indra Bhagavan, goes to stop somebody from doing Ashwamedha Yajna, Bhagavan asks him, why are you so insecure? I am here to take care of you. I only have to take care. Right? For Bali Maharaj, it is said Indra Bhagavan comes from Bhagavan's, he was hiding behind him. Quietly he walks on the side. So he says, I will take care. Why are you so insecure? Yadeva iha tadamutra. That is the main thing. Whatever agitations of the mind we have here, same things are there also. Second one is Nara. Oh, Nara, what to say? He says, taking a human form, once you have gotten it, make sure that we abide in that absolute truth and don't plan for any rebirth. I don't know if I should share this or not, but I will share it. There was one Mahatma Ji to whom one devotee went. And this Mahatma Ji knew that devotee. He was known for not doing so many good things. He will cut corners somewhere and everything. But whenever he would go in front of that Mahatma Ji, he would say, Mahatma Ji, bless me in such a way that I don't have to come back again. Punarjanma na ho. That was his, prayer. And Mahatma Ji said, वो तो ठीक है, but तैयारी तो उसी की हो रही है. All that is good. And Punarjanma should not be there. But your preparation is just precisely for Punarjanma. Means what he wanted to say was, we should become more single-pointed on this path. And we ourselves are the check for our progress. Nobody else needs to say anything. Inner mechanism should come that are divine qualities coming in me, or more other types of qualities are coming in me. Daivi vritti or asuri vritti. But to help us in understanding why Nara Janma is samsara dukkha bahula, so much of samsara is there, so much sorrow is there, he has just mentioned few words here. He says Janma, Yuvavastha he doesn't even mention. Directly he goes to Jara. Janma, then Jara, Marana, Rogadi. Adipadena, Sarvam. Everything else is included. Meaning these are things we cannot avoid having a human body. You can look at positively also. If we are more accepting of this, more well prepared for this, these things will not disappoint us more. These things will not disappoint us a lot, because we know if we have a human form, these things are meant with it. At the same time, we have a choice. We have a choice of not to have rebirth, be freed once and for all. That is this mananam. In some texts, this part is elaborated in several verses. Because just by saying Janma, Jara, Marana, Rogadi, it doesn't make that impact. Sadhakas still feel, oh, what is wrong? It is okay, we'll handle some or the other way. So then some acharyas, they will take it upon themselves. They will say, we will explain what is the implication of every word. For Janma, simple one is our Shiva Parada Kshamapana Stotra. Claustrophobia, we talk about, right? In a flight and so many things. Is, have you imagined staying there for that long? And all other things which come along with it. Helplessness as a child, right? So all that is part of Nara form. Having a human form, you say even that is filled with sorrow. Third one is Tiryak. Tiryak is animal. Tiryak means one whose all body parts are in the same line. Tiryak means horizontal line. So that is animal. Now sometimes poetically we might say it that way, but sadhaka should never feel that way. Sometimes we hear people say, right? If I were to be born again, I'll be born as a bird. I will fly high in the sky. So all that is good, but we don't know what it means to be a bird. Once somebody starts analyzing that yoni, then we realize how much of dependence is there. Emotionally, you say, or even for survival in that sense. Last one is Pretadishu. Preta yoni is also there. Preta yoni is also there. What is the pramana for this? Dhundukari. Pramana for this is Dhundukari. In Gokarnaji's story in Bhagavatam, we had seen what is Preta yoni. What was the definition there? Preta yoni means Sukshma Sharira is there, Sthula Sharira is not there. Means imagine the condition. Hunger and thirst are in Sukshma Sharira. In this Preta will feel hunger, will feel thirst, but cannot satisfy it because there is no Sthula Sharira. So this is when Gokarnaji chants some mantras, and gives him some temporary Sharira by which he can speak. And then he does Bhagavad Saptaha and he gets Moksha. So Preta yoni is also there. But all of this is to show that having a human form is lot of dukkham. It is samsara dukkha bahuleshu. Lot of sorrow is there in taking up a human form. Sasharirasya vai satah na priya priyayoho apahati rasti. As long as one has physical body and notion of I-ness in physical body. Having physical body is one thing, and thinking physical body to be me. As long as that is there, good and bad experiences can never go away. Priya priyayoho, priya apriyayoho, apahati rasti. Until that point, different experiences will keep coming, and our life will be like pumpkin, which goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. Somebody who analyzes this, somebody who thinks Punarjanma is a bondage, that person becomes sincere seeker of moksha. I'm not elaborating on that part. Maybe sometimes when we study a text which elaborates, we can reflect even on that. But it just needs a different heart. It is not to paint a pessimistic picture of life where everything is elaborated. For Janma things are elaborated, Jara things are elaborated, Marana Rogadi it is elaborated. But all of that is just to make sure that we have the right thing as our goal. We have the right goal in life, which is Atma Chaitanya. Okay. Let us chant this verse. Iha cheda vedi data satyamasti nachediha vedi mahati vinashtihi bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya dhiraha pretyasmallokadamruta bhavanti. This is the mantra which is highlighting the importance of moksha. A rarity of human birth. It is said, Iha cheda vedit, ata satyam asti. While having this human birth, in and through all the pursuits that we are doing, if somebody can come and abide in their own true nature, then everything is good. Meaning all pursuits have fulfilled their purpose if swaroopa nishtha takes place. What is swaroopa nishtha? What is jnanam? This is whatever we discussed in the previous verses. Anya deva tad viditat atho aviditat adhi. Or pratibodha viditam matam. In that way, if somebody can understand themselves and abide in that knowledge, then purpose of human birth is fulfilled. Iha cheda vedit ata satyam asti. Means Bhagavan must be asking, after this Jiva departs, drops physical body and goes, he also does a performance review. Bhagavan. He said, I gave you a human body, so precious, 8.7 million species, you were given that one rare human body. Tell me, what did you do? One answer could be, Bhagavan, I enjoyed. I had human body, everything was good, life was going very well. I enjoyed, I had a good time. I also tried to change the world. I also tried to change the world. Bhagavan would say, why did you take on my role? Changing world is not purpose of life. He says, that is why I am here for. And tell me, what did you do? Some other sadhaka might be there who would say, Bhagavan, I lived a good life. I did all my duties well. Everything I did, lived a dharmic life. Bhagavan would say, that is good, better than the first one. But we should remember, we have lived so many lives like this. So many janmas have gone. If we had human birth, living a dharmic life, he says that cannot be the supreme most accomplishment. Dharma also has a goal. Dharma also has a destination. So if the answer comes in Bhagavan's performance review, that Bhagavan, I understood through your own words. Why? Because Vedas are breath of Bhagavan. I understood through your own words that I am not a Jiva. I am not this finite being. I am you alone. As Chaitanya Swarupa, I am you alone. If this answer comes, Bhagavan says, you have used your life in the best possible way. Upanishad, definition of a miser is given. Who is Krupanaha? Etat aksharam aviditva. Yaha asmat lokat praiti saha eva Krupanaha. What is a miser? Miser means he has all the things in his resources. He has all the resources available to him, but neither does he benefit, nor do others benefit. That is a miser, Krupanaha. Meaning, having a human birth, this person could have attained the supreme most goal of life, had all the resources, and even for the resources to come together is very difficult. Desire inside, appropriate circumstances outside, Shastra, Guru, everything to fall in place is such a great, divine sankalpa. Even after that, if somebody departs with this understanding that I am a Jiva, Yajnavalkya Rishi says, that person is a Krupanaha. It is the same mantra in a different way. Iha cheda vedit ata satyam asti, na chediha vedin mahati vinashti. If a person departs without knowing this, then there is a great loss. Vinasha has taken place. We don't know when this human form will come back again. Now, what did he do so that he became Amruta? He became immortal. Bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitya Dheera. Dheera means what? It was not that his life was bed of roses. He also had challenges. He also had difficulties, but he had forbearance. Dheera word in Upanishad means that one who has titiksha. Whatever things life throws at him, he makes sure that he doesn't drop his final goal. Yam hinav vyathayante te purusham purusharshaba. Sama dukkha sukham dhiram saha amruttatvaya kalpate. One who can bear these pairs of opposites, he becomes capable. Okay, bhuteshu bhuteshu, in every being he has recognized that Atma Chaitanya, which is he himself. Pretya asmat lokat amrutaha bhavanti. See, all these words are very, very technical. Loka word over here means adhyasa. Pretya asmat lokat means one who has transcended adhyasa. That person becomes immortal. What is that adhyasa? That we will see today. Okay, without bhashya, we could have never interpreted loka shabda as adhyasa. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya will write, Mama and Aham. This is who I am and this is mine. He says these are two adhyasas we have to remove. One who does that, that person is immortal. Okay. Words, literal meaning of mantra is clear, right? We'll go to the bhashya part. Ataha iha eva chet manushyaha adhikrutaha samartha san yadi avedit atmanam yathokta lakshanam viditavan yathoktena prakarena atha tada asti satyam manushya janmani asmin avinashah arthavatta va sadbhavah va paramarthata va satyam vidyate. So one reason why we should hurry for moksha, Bhagavan gave in the previous introductory bhashya. He said taking up a human form has lot of pain, lot of sorrow. That is why we should strive for moksha. Second reason he says is human form is the only form where we can evolve. Somebody can be born as something, but he can evolve to become somebody else. Meaning currently I might be somewhere, but I can evolve to become a better person. Right now, let us say, my nature is predominantly to get angry, or mind is always agitated. That doesn't mean I will remain like this forever. Somebody who is putting forth effort, there is adhikara available in manushya janma. Manushya adhikrutaha samartha. Samartha means he is capable, he has this ability to change. In Lord Buddha's disciples, one of them, his name was Angulimala. Angulimala means one who is to make a mala of anguli, fingers. Imagine the kind of mind he would have had. But he becomes one of the foremost disciples of Lord Buddha. Ahimsa, to have that kind of acceptance, that kind of abidance, he transforms from what he was before. We have so many other examples, right? Ratnakara transforming into Valmiki ji. So this is the only form where we can evolve. And true measure of a purposeful life is only in this. How much have we evolved towards divinity? How much closer we have come to Bhagavan? When people drive from one state to another state, they have distance, right? This much distance we have to cover, 600 miles or whatever it is. And all they count is, in one day, how much did we cover? Based on that, they will book their hotel, where to stay. So human birth, this is one metric. I might have started somewhere, but today, how close do I feel to Bhagavan? How close do I feel to his form, to his grace? That journey is a journey of a Jiva. And it has nothing to do with physical body. In Bhagavad Gita class, we had seen this. Deha Yatra is one and Jiva Yatra is another. So when it comes to Deha Yatra, it is from womb to tomb. It is decided by Prarabdha. But Jiva Yatra is not decided by Prarabdha. Jiva Yatra is where I have to put forth effort, and it is independent of age. Right? That is why we have Prahladaji, Dhruva. Age-wise, they are 5-year-old, 10 years old. But Jiva is very, very ripened, very mature. That is Jiva Yatra. And we should also not feel that it is too late for me. Right? Because Jiva continues. Whichever effort is put, that effort will come to save that sadhaka. Swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Great fear it can protect us from. Even little bit of karma yoga we do, little bit of sadhana we do. That is this thing. In Hindi, they have a phrase, jab jage tabhi savera. It is not that, when sun rises, at that time it is morning. Whenever I wake up, that is morning for me. Meaning, whenever this desire comes, shubhecha comes, that I should start being a sincere sadhaka. He says that is when this journey has already started and it is coming closer. Manushyaha adhikrutaha. What about other yonis? I say other yonis are only bhoga yonis. Yoni means form of life. Either it is plant, animals, or even devatas for that matter. It is said karma adhikara. Ability to do karma, ability to change is there mainly in Manushya Sharira, human form. This one who has samartaha san yadi avedit, having attained a human form, if somebody knows that truth, what is the nature of truth? Atmanam yathokta lakshanam. What was discussed in Kenopanishad so far. Anya devatad viditat, atho viditat adi, and then pratibodha viditam matam. One who has understood in this way, viditavan yathoktena prakarena, in the way that it was elaborated by Upanishad, atha tada asti satyam. Then everything is good for that person. Everything is good. Satyam, Anand Giriji translates as, even vyavaharik satyam is good for that person. Sometimes people have that fear, If I become spiritual, then what will happen to my transactional life? Will I become disinterested? Will my all sambandhas not be fulfilled in the way that it demands? So Anand Giriji writes there. He says, in Paramarthika Satyam, Vyavaharik Satyam is already included. As long as that person walks the path correctly, does sadhanas, builds their personality, in that everything of Vyavahara is already included. And many a times, the Vyavaharik result is a prompter for us to come to spirituality. If somebody says on the first day, right, you will be liberated from transmigration if you study Vedanta. You say, you study, I am very happy where I am right now. I don't think transmigration is a problem. Even the thought doesn't come that there is something called as transmigration. So Anand Giri says, this transactional benefit which is there, it will prompt a person on the path of spirituality. What is the example? He says Virochana. When Brahmaji put that advertisement, right? I'm going to teach Brahma Vidya, knowing which person becomes immortal. Virochana thought, I will learn Brahma Vidya and conquer Devatas. Right? So that is why he goes to Brahmaji. So it is said pravrutti can happen. Person can be inspired to start on the spiritual path with transactional benefits. That is why Mahatmas sometimes add that into their talks, you say, or in terms of communicating to sadhakas. It is not that they don't know that transactional benefit is secondary. They have had vairagya towards that. But if it can inspire a sadhaka, they say, why not even start with that? Right? Success without stress, right? Based on Vedanta. You say, yes, that I want. That will be my first talk of Vedanta. And slowly they will pull them in and tell all other things which are the main message. Okay. Atmanam yatokta lakshanam viditavan yatokta prakarena atha tada asti satyam. Now Satyam, Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives 4 meanings. What is Satyam? Manushya janmani asmin avinashaha. Atha Satyam asti, right? That is the word from Upanishad. Satyam, he says, avinashaha. That which never gets destroyed. Meaning what? That sadhaka attains that immortality which is eternal. Avinashaha, he becomes immortal. He becomes avinashi. Okay, that is the first meaning. Second one is arthavatta. Arthavatta means sarthakata. In English, you can translate it as purposeful life. Only when somebody finds this spiritual goal, then only their life becomes meaningful, life becomes purposeful. Okay. Third is sadbhava. Sadbhava means sadhu bhava. Divine qualities come to that person, and all transactions should become sweeter. Sadhu bhava, that is this third quality. Fourth one is paramarthata. Paramarthata means supreme most goal. And we should ask ourselves, what is that one goal, having attained which I will not have to seek anything else? What is that one goal? If this thing happens in my life, after that, all my sorrows are gone for good. Just think about it. If you find something, we can discuss with Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji. Because he says there is nothing like that. Paramarthata is only in Atmanishtha. Puja Guruji mentioned a beautiful point recently. He said, worldly goals, if we analyze it closely, it should tell us a few more things. He said, how do you prove that worldly things will not give us joy, will not give us eternal happiness? He said, because even right now I am seeking for it. So many things have come in my life already. And when it was not there, I thought if this thing came, everything will be good. He said that thing has come and still I am searching for it. So this vyapti I should get, data I should gather, that objects of the world cannot give me eternal happiness. Okay. But one who has understood this truth as pratibodha viditam matam, for that person, atha satyam asti. Everything is good for that person. Okay, this was just the second point. He says that ability to evolve is there only in human form. Now, other side, what happens to one who does not know this truth? Nachediha vedi titi, na chet iha jivanschet adhikrutaha avedit, na viditavan, tada mahati dirgha ananta vinashtihi, vinashanam, janma jara maranadi prabandha, avichcheda lakshana samsara gatihi. If somebody could not come out of this dehoham bhava, manushoham bhava, if somebody could not come out of this, then what happens? He says, nachet iha jivans chet adhikrutaha avedit na viditavan. While having this human form, while having all the opportunities, if somebody could not come out, tada mahati dirgha ananta vinashtihi. Then there is great loss for that person. Why? Because next time when human body is available, that is very uncertain. It is based upon karma. When we have the opportunity, make use of it right then and there. Avasara bite kahi pachitayo. Goswamiji writes in one place. Humans are such, he says, whenever there is opportunity, they will not make use of it. When avasara is bite, when opportunity is gone, then they will regret. Oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. He says, even with sambandha, it is like that. When everybody is together, that time they will not appreciate each other's company. But if somebody has to move to some place, or they have to move somewhere else, then they remember, oh, this was such a nice thing we had. Goswamiji has written, this is how our mind works, he says. Vinashtihi vinashanam janma jara maranadi prabandha. What will happen to that person? They will constantly be hit by these things. Janma means birth, jara is old age, marana means death, prabandha, very well they are bound by this. Avichcheda lakshana. Avichcheda lakshana means continuously. If you want to apply it in day-to-day life, right? How this will appear is, see, one janma is taking and dropping of physical body. But more applied meaning of this is, whenever I feel that my existence is questioned, whenever this ahankara feels that I am nobody, is that santapa which comes, that is called as marana or janma marana. That part goes with that thought. Sometimes it happens, right? Whenever we are in a group, let us say some conference or somewhere we have gone, and we go inside, nobody recognizes us. Everybody is busy talking. There is some thought which comes inside, as though my existence is questioned. That is one form of mrityu. What is my true nature? I am Sat Swarupa. So that Sat gets questioned. Whenever I feel my ideas are getting questioned, my mind is getting questioned, my opinions are getting questioned, that is questioning of Chit Swarupa. Chit means what? I am Chaitanya Swarupa. I am of the nature of knowledge. But whenever I feel I am ignorant about something, or something is getting questioned of this mind and intellect, that is another samsara for this mind and intellect. Samsara means that constantly moving from one state to another. Samsaranam iti samsara. So all these are like that. Right now I am happy, next moment I am sad. Again I am happy, next moment I am sad, depending upon what the condition around me is. And third one, of course, is ananda. Time and again I start feeling I am miserable, I am unhappy. Right? So all of that is samsara for this jiva. So if somebody has not come out of this jiva bhava, he says this is waiting for us. Janma, jara, maranadi, prabandha, avichcheda lakshana. He adds the word avichcheda also. No break in between. Continuously it will keep coming. Samsara gatihi. This is what they get. Now first line is done. Iha cheda vedit atha satyam asti na chediha vedin mahati vinashti. Then second line was bhuteshu bhuteshu vichitta dhiraha pretya asmat lokat amrutaha bhavanti. Loka word we said is adhyasa. So we will spend some time reflecting upon different types of adhyasas. Very important topic. It will help us appreciate what is happening inside. How is Adhyasa happening? At the same time, know how to remove this Adhyasa. Adhyasa, very simple. Right? What is the meaning of Adhyasa? Mistaking one thing to be another. We'll not make it too technical. Smriti Rupa, Paratra, Purva, Dushtava, Bhasa. We'll not go to that one. Very simple. Mistaking one thing to be another, that is called as Adhyasa. Adi means top, on top of. On top of real entity, I have put some unreal entity. That is called as Adhyasa. So in Vedanta, we have different types of Adhyasas, which open up many things for us in terms of Atma and Anatma mix-up. Adhyasa is happening between Atma and Anatma. Right? So how it is happening, for that technical terms are given. Okay, ready everybody? First Adhyasa is called as Arthadhyasa. First Adhyasa is called as Arthadhyasa. What is Arthadhyasa? Appearance of a false object on a real substratum. Okay, appearance of a false entity on a real substratum. So example here is mirage water appearing on sand. This is Arthadhyasa. Mirage water is false entity. It is appearing on sand. That mix-up is called as Arthadhyasa. So first one is Drishtanta. Over here you will have Drishtanta. Second one is Darshtanta. What is Darshtanta over here? Jagat or Ahankara is appearing in Brahma. Jagat, starting from Ahankara, is appearing in pure consciousness or Brahma. This appearance is called as Arthadhyasa. Careful, huh? We'll have another word over here now. Appearance of false on the real is called as Arthadhyasa. Okay, example you remember, all Adhyasas will become clear. Okay, false entity is mirage water. The substratum is sand. So that false entity appearing on real sand. Darshtanta. In Drishtanta. So this one is Drishtanta. Example. In Darshtanta, Jagat or Ahankara is appearing in Brahma. So when you come to Darshtanta, even sand is an appearance. Only for example purpose, we have taken that. Second Adhyasa is called as Jnanadhyasa. Jnanadhyasa. The subtle difference here is mistaking the false object to be real. That is called as Jnanadhyasa. What was the first one? Arthadhyasa was appearance. Appearance of false object on real substratum. That was Arthadhyasa. Jnanadhyasa is mistaking that false entity to be real. Why? Because just because something is appearing doesn't mean I have to give reality to it. Okay. Are you all with me for this? Jnanadhyasa means mistaking the false object to be the real object. When somebody is traveling in the desert and there is a thought in that person that this is water. And he thinks that he is going to quench his thirst with that water. That thought which is there, that is Jnanadhyasa. Just the appearance part, that was Arthadhyasa. Thinking that this false entity alone is real. He doesn't know that it is false. That is called as Jnanadhyasa. So the thought in Ajnani, saying that I am this Ahankara, Ahankara is real, and Jagat is real, world is real. That Adhyasa is called as Jnanadhyasa. Okay. See, whatever reflection we do, it has a purpose. Sab prayojanam it is, not nish prayojanam. So what is the purpose of distinguishing these two Adhyasas? We said knowledge removes Jnanadhyasa. Arthadhyasa continues. Knowledge will remove Jnanadhyasa, means ignorance will go away that this world is a real entity. This Ahankara is real entity. This ignorance will go away. But because ignorance is gone, Arthadhyasa will not cease at that moment. Perception of world, perception of ahankara will still continue. That is the difference over here. Jnanadhyasa ends with Tattvajnanam. Arthadhyasa continues with Badita Vritti, you say. Falsified perception continues. Then that person should not insist, if this mirage water is not there, then why am I seeing it? If he says that, then his knowledge is not very clear yet. He has not understood the nature of substratum. He has not understood how this thing is appearing. So, Jnani should not say, Jnani will not say, Sadhaka should not say, oh, I have understood that Jagat is mithya. If it is mithya, why am I perceiving it? If ahankara is mithya, why am I perceiving it? He says, Arthadhyasa will continue, Jnanadhyasa will end. Okay? I'm thinking one more we can see. Okay. There are 6 in total. 2 we covered today. Third Adhyasa is called Dharma Dhyasa. Third Adhyasa is called as Dharma Dhyasa. What is Dharma Dhyasa? Attribute of one entity gets superimposed on the other. Attribute of one entity, not the entity itself. Just the attribute gets superimposed on the other. So if you have a colored cloth and a colorless crystal, okay, colored cloth and colorless crystal, only color of the cloth enters that crystal. Meaning what? Dharma of one entity gets superimposed on another entity. Cloth doesn't come and enter the crystal, right? Only the color of the cloth comes and enters the crystal. Okay, this is called as Dharma Dhyasa. What is the Darshtanta over here? Whenever I say, I am tall, I am short, I am angry, all those things are tallness, shortness, everything is dharma. It is an attribute of body, it is an attribute of ahankara. And where does this I come from? Shuddha Chaitanya. So this is Dharma Dhyasa, where attributes of ahankara are getting superimposed on Atma. Attributes. Then there is another Adhyasa called as Dharmi Adhyasa. In Dharmi Adhyasa, locus of one entity is getting superimposed on another. Not only the attribute, but the locus itself is getting superimposed. Okay. What is the best example for this? Tapta ayah pindavat. Tapta ayah pinda. Iron ball and fire. Now, iron ball and fire, both the locus itself is getting superimposed. Iron ball and fire have become one, unlike crystal and cloth, where only attribute came over here. So this is called as Dharmi Adhyasa, where locus itself is superimposed. Example is iron ball and fire. But if you want Darshananta, it is all the statements I make with ahankara. I am karta, I am experiencer, I am doer. I am karta means I am doer. I am bhokta, I am experiencer. All of that is part of Dharmi Adhyasa. Why? Because ahankara and Atma have become one. Not only attributes of ahankara. If I say I am angry, anger is an attribute of ahankara. Okay? So that would be Dharma Adhyasa. But if the locus, ahankara and Atma have become one, that is called as Dharmi Adhyasa. Now, why are we discussing these two Adhyasas? Bhagavan will mention that. He says, first Adhyasa is Aham. Thinking myself, not absolute Aham, thinking myself to be this finite Aham, that is first Adhyasa. Where will that fall? Dharma Adhyasa or Dharmi Adhyasa? Little louder. Dharmi. Dharmi. Why? Because ahankara only is mixed up. When I say I am ahankara, I am this individual, locus itself is mixed up. On top of that, I have several other dharma that I superimpose. That is called as mamatva. First is ahanta. I am this person. On top of that, I superimpose many things and say, this belongs to me. This is who I am. So all that mama which is there, that is part of Dharma Dhyasa. Okay, so Bhagavan will mention those 2 points. The main thing over here is Atma and Ahankara have Dharmi Adhyasa and they also have Dharma Dhyasa. But if you want to find a sequence, which Adhyasa should I tackle first? He says, don't tackle Dharmi Adhyasa directly. It is not that easy to directly remove Ahankara while all the Dharma is right in the place where it is. So through sadhana, Dharma Adhyasa is mellowed down. Right? Through sadhana, Dharma Adhyasa is mellowed down. Strong identification with body, strong possessiveness of outside things. That should go down through sadhana. And Jnanam will remove Dharmi Adhyasa. Saying that I am a good person, Vedanta says even that is Adhyasa. You are not a person, you are Brahma. So that is part of Dharmi Adhyasa, which is removed through Jnana. Okay, so sequentially, Dharma Adhyasa will come first in terms of removal. When that is mellowed down, I can go to Dharmi Adhyasa. Okay, there are 2 more, but we will see in the next session. By the way, this is the verse we reflected in meditation today. These 2 adhyasas. Atmana Satchidam Shascha, Buddher Vrittiriti Dvayam, Sanyojya Avivekena Jana Miti Pravartate. Atma gives Satchit aspect and Vritti, thought, gives modification part. When both come together, this person says, I know. So which adhyasa is this? Dharma Adhyasa or Dharmi Adhyasa? Dharmi Adhyasa. Janami is said, right? I know. Janamiti pravartate. On top of that, if I say, I know very well, that becomes Dharma Dhyasa. Because some attribute of knowing, that I am taking upon myself. So this part is mentioned. 2 more adhyasas are there, Swaroopa Adhyasa and Samsarga Adhyasa. Both we will see in the next session. My plan is to complete 2.5 in the next session. We'll have 1 more session after that. I think 21st, that weekend we will have. So we can do a recap. We didn't do it while we started this semester, or when we started after the break. 3 weeks we took a break. I said towards the end we will recap. So whatever key ideas are there, 2.5 until 2.5 we will recap. I don't want to start later part because it's very, very important. I don't want to leave it halfway. We will study in detail Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji's Vakya Bhashya on Ishvara Siddhi Prakaranam. Bhagavan has elaborately written what is the nature of Bhagavan. In particular, for us as sadhakas, that should be our main prayojanam. That is very helpful. And secondarily, whenever you teach Bal Vihar or any other interaction that we do with younger children, they have many questions about God. The one place which has all answers, that is this Vakya Bhashya. Several perspectives Bhagavan gives without going to absolute discussion on Brahma. He says that we have already done. 2.5 verse. Until then, we thoroughly discussed about Nirguna Brahma. Now let us discuss about Saguna Brahma. That part is there, and beautiful Akhyayika, beautiful story is there. That also we will cover when we meet back after summer. If there are any questions, you can turn them in the Google form. So maybe the last session we can have Q&A. Anything that we want. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.